Well, hi everybody. Welcome to my Friday vlog. How are you all doing? It has been a week for a lot of people, and the first thing I want to say is I'm praying for our Texas neighbors who have been going through a lot of turmoil this week with the storms and the electricity going out and no water, and it's just horrible. So I just want everybody to know I am praying for you. I do have friends down in Texas, and I'm praying for them. It looks like some people are starting to get their electricity back from what I'm reading, so I'm glad to hear that. And I just hope that there aren't any more problems from that. So this storm really was so unusual. I don't think Texas gets a lot of snow. I don't even know if they get any snow, to tell you the truth. When I lived in Dallas, we did have an ice storm one year. It was terrible. It was so bad. Our engine on the van actually froze up, and it was just gone. So that was a bad day for my husband because he loves his vans. Dave was a van man. I'm not. So I like my little car. I don't need any big old vans. So that's my praying for Texas. I love y'all, and I hope that things are starting to get better for you. So it's been a quiet week weather-wise in Vermont. Thank goodness. We haven't had any more major snow. A wonderful neighbor from down the road, he helped me last year when I needed a mattress for my new bed that I got, my new used bed. Well, backtrack there. When I first moved in here, I didn't have a bed. I had an air mattress. And I have a cat, so eventually the air mattress just started losing air because Vivi had nails, and he would put holes in it. So this was in July. I came up June 23rd. And then was it the 4th of July weekend that my family came up and I got to meet everybody and it was wonderful. And my cousin offered me a bed they had up in their barn. Okay, it was one of those old beds with the old springs in them. It's basically an antique bed. So what they did was they gave that to me, and he ordered a mattress for me. And the mattress didn't quite fit, but it was good enough to get me on the bed. And that was an ordeal with that bed. It wasn't quite long enough. So I always had to put like a bunch of blankets between it and the headboard because it kept sliding off the bed. We didn't have a, what you call it, the bottom part of the mattress? Box spring. We didn't have that. So what they did was my cousins put a big board. They cut a big board to put on top of it. And the board and the mattress were so slippery, I kept falling off the mattress. I fell off the bed and onto the hardwood floor one time, and it was quite an escapade with that bed. And so eventually last year, when I was mistakenly told that I had colon cancer and that I would need major surgery, I decided to get another bed, which wasn't as high as the other bed, so that I wouldn't have to climb on it. So I got this mattress from somebody on our neighborhood forum. Our neighborhood forum is amazing. People are amazing in this community. So I got this bed and I got the springboard from this guy. And I also got another mattress for the other bed because I thought I would keep it. You never know if my cousin wants to come over or if friends want to come over. And I kept it for like a whole year. And it was like, I really don't need this bed anymore. It's just taking up space. So back in November of this year, my cousin came over and took the bed. And I think he just dumped it. I think he just took it to the dump. And it was very useful. He had it when they were kids. And it was just time for the bed to go to dumpster heaven. So that's what happened with that bed. Went away. I've got this bed. So that man was so sweet. He gave me a mattress and he gave me this old bed, what you call them, frame, the metal bed frames that have wheels on them. So this bed frame has wheels on it, okay? And this bed has a lot of history, okay? Because last year, when I was friends with a certain person and we would go live all the time, and my bed would inch away from the wall quite often, so I would be on camera and going, ugh, to get the bed back to the wall. And it became such a funny, funny joke. It was just funny. And it doesn't have a headboard. So one time I was sitting back on the bed and somebody said, "Are you on a boat?" I don't know why they thought it was a boat. Maybe because of the wood. I don't know. I mean, I've got the wood, right here, and then the wall. And I would be sitting back, against there. I'd be sitting back against there. You probably couldn't hear me. And they'd say, "Are you on a boat?" And I'd say, "No, I'm not on a boat. I'm on a bed." And it just keeps sliding all the time. So then the next joke was I was on the Titanic. So everybody knows I had the Titanic up on my wall for a very, very long time. About 2 or 3 months ago, it decided that it was time for the end of this era where it was. That era was over and it was just time to move forward. So one night I heard this crash and I didn't know what it was. It didn't dawn on me that the stupid thing had fallen down and it had a glass frame. I think I might have been in the other room or something and I had no idea what it was. Come to find out, a week or two, 3 weeks later, I was cleaning behind the bed. I saw all this glass, and I'm like, oh, the Titanic's not there anymore. I had gotten so used to it, that I never really looked on the wall anymore. So it had fallen down, and there was glass everywhere. And, I think it was just a sign. Okay, so you had this friendship, it's over, time to move on. So now Mr. Keith Urban is on the wall. And I am not ashamed to say that I am a Keith Urban fangirl. Everybody knows it, so what the heck. So that is from a concert tour book that I had gotten at one of his concerts. I think it was like 2007, somewhere around there. And I just basically took out all the pictures and put them up on the walls just to decorate, I don't like just plain white walls. So I just decided to, put these pictures up from the concert book. And I've got some color and some beautiful pictures of my man on there. So that is that story. So that gentleman that helped me with that, when I put the ad in the paper for help for snow removal, he messaged me and said I'd be happy to come down and help you. And unfortunately, I had meant to go out to see him this morning, but I had such a horrible headache. And I had to wind up taking a migraine pill like at 6 a.m. So, of course, I was out like a light when he got here. But when I woke up at 5 o'clock, yes, 5 o'clock p.m., I went out there and he got all that snow away from my car and in the driveway. And I was so, so grateful. I messaged him and I apologized. I said, "I'm so sorry I couldn't come out. But, I've been sick and I just wasn't feeling good. And hopefully he understands." But he's a great man. He's a good friend of my cousin's husband. My cousin's husband is from Vermont and they've been pals since they were kids. So I was very, very grateful for that happening today. So next thing will be to find somebody to help me jumpstart my car. And I'm hoping that my neighbor will help me tomorrow so that I can get the car back on the road, go get some much needed groceries, and go to work on Monday. So that is my plan. right now. Whew. Yeah, so that was that. But yeah, the weather's been good. We've only had just a little bit of snowfall, no more than an inch here and there. And for the next 7 days, I don't see anything in the forecast for major snow. So hallelujah. I'm like, please, no more snow. We're done. We're done. It's almost the end of February. Now, the snow isn't always this bad. Um, the first winter I was here, oh my gosh, we had so much snow that first winter. And of course, for me, it was total culture shock coming from Tennessee and getting like 7, 8, 9, 10 inches of snow. It was horrible for me. I mean, I love snow, but the situation that I'm in right now, where nobody is taking care of it, and we're supposed to, it's been kind of like, how it's been for me this year. Oh, but man, that first year, yeah, it was a big culture shock. And oh boy, I was snowed in for weeks. There was no way I could have done that. And that was another reason why I kind of lost the job at McDonald's. Because what happened was I tried to shovel one day, and of course I hurt myself, and I was hurt. I mean, I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand. I tried to go to work, but I was in agony the whole time. And this happened right after I came back from my Christmas seeing my cousins down in New York. And so when I got back, and almost like the first or second, third day back, I hurt myself. I fell and I really hurt my leg. And eventually I just had to stop working because, you know, I just couldn't get to work. With the snow and everything, I started spending money on cabs. Do you know how much a cab is from here to McDonald's? $30. I only made $40 a day, you know? And it just got to the point it's just not worth it, you know? Now, as you know, a few days ago, I was so overwhelmed that I was to the point where I wanted to quit my job and just hibernate until April. But thankfully, my neighbor came. Hopefully, we can get the car started and I can get my life back to normal. I've needed groceries for 5 days now. So, I've got cereal. I had the last pizza I had, but now it's to the point where, I need some protein because I've been living on cereal and cookies and junk, you know. So I'm hoping that tomorrow I can go out and get some groceries, get some protein in this house. So that's my plan. We shall see. Winnie is doing great. Winnie is so cute. She now has this little thing, okay? She's on the bed next to me, okay? And I'm petting her. If I stop, she puts her paw on me. Keep petting me. Keep petting me. She's so cute. That's something new that started this week. And I thought it's so adorable. It's a little bit painful because of her claws, but it's just so cute how she does that. Pet, pet. she's she's really cute. So, and she sleeps anywhere. I mean, I can find her on the recliner. She likes the coffee table. She likes her little cat tree that I got for Vivi. Um, yeah, she'll pretty much sleep anywhere. So, I think that's cute. She doesn't really have one spot. And lots of times she'll just come on the bed. She's got a spot on the corner that she likes, and she'll just sleep there. So, she's turning out to be a good cat. I like her a lot. So, we're getting there. She still wants to go out. Like I said, she was probably in a house with stairs like Vivi was. And anytime, for a couple of times I've gone out the door without closing it, she'll go up the stairs, you know. So, I'm trying to curb her from that. So when I go out, I make sure to close the door. Even if I'm putting garbage bags in the hallway, I'll close the door and just keep telling her no. you know. I mean, the neighbor upstairs is never here. It doesn't hurt anything, but I just don't want her to get used to it. You know what I mean? So, anyway, yeah, it's winter time, and kind of like what I did last winter, I just triple bag everything, and I don't have a whole lot of garbage, thank goodness. Most of my trash is paper, okay? Like stuff from the computer, maybe some things that I've ordered from Amazon, bills and such, just paper stuff. And I don't have a lot of garbage. Usually I only have one big kitchen garbage a week. So, but in the wintertime, if I don't want to have it all in the house, I'll just put it all in the hallway. My neighbor's never here. He doesn't care anyway because you should see the landing up there. He has so much stuff up there. And yeah, he's got his garbage out in the hallway as well. So it's really not a big deal. As long as I triple bag everything so nothing smells. And then when the weather gets better, I can take them down to the dumpster. Right now, it's just too icy out there, and I'm not going to chance it. So that is what's going on with that. Now, also, pardon me, my nose is running. Anyway, yeah, that's the Winnie and the house and everything's going here. I'm going through some turmoil with the landlord, as you know, and that has been quite stressful. And I'm just trying to calm down because it's giving me anxiety. I've never had anxiety attacks in my life. And the thing is, I'm a fantastic tenant. I pay my rent every single month on the 3rd because Social Security comes in on the 3rd. I go to Venmo, I pay him. He gets his money every month. But he is very verbally abusive. He deliberately worded the lease in a way where he can't get in trouble anymore. Apparently, when my cousin was here and he gave them a hard time about the snow like I'm having right now, back then in his lease, he talked about common areas having to be taken care of by tenants. And apparently, no, you can't do that. Common areas are supposed to be taken care of by the landlord. But now he has worded his lease in such a way that he can kind of get away with it because he states that the tenant is responsible for the grounds as well as their apartment. So that is why he's been giving me such a hard time because he says it's in your lease that you need to take care of it. And I've been objecting, of course, because number one, I'm 63 years old. Number two, I am somewhat disabled. I'm not officially disabled through Social Security, but there's certain parts of my body that don't work well anymore, and so I consider myself disabled. Okay? It's very, very difficult to get certified by Social Security that you are disabled. I mean, you really have to be in bad, bad shape. You have to have documentation from your doctors for the past year. It's almost impossible to get on Social Security disability. And I wouldn't qualify anyway. I'm not the type to try to take advantage of the system like some people do. I mean, you really have to have a lot of documentation. So, but I've told everybody I've got the arthritis, I've got the gout, I've got bad discs in my back, and of course I'm terribly overweight, which doesn't help matters. But so that's it. I'm 63, I've got problems, I can't be out there shoveling snow and blah blah blah. But there's not much I can do about it. So, yeah, and he's making suggestions. Well, you need to move to the village where you're closer to town and you can get closer to things and less snow. And I'm like, I'm not moving. Okay, I love this place. I absolutely love this place. I am just going to have to prepare next year before the snow comes that I will have to probably pay somebody to come take care of the snow when it gets bad. I'm just gonna have to stop fighting and realize it. But there are measures I can take to kind of curtail his verbal abusiveness, and if he keeps it up, he will not be very happy. Okay, because I'm a senior, and you don't abuse senior women like he does me and my other neighbor. I don't know how he talks to the other neighbor. She said she's known him for years, so she probably knows how to handle him. But you know, and my cousin is tough. She does not put up with crap. And she's been helping me all along the way. You do this, you do that. You contact these, you contact them. She's 100% behind me because she knows, you know. So, anyway, that is that. And I am just going to have to deal with it and stop the belly aching. So I won't be belly aching anymore about the snow. So, that's the end of that era. I am just tired of it. I've contacted the attorney general. They haven't gotten back to me. Um, it's too stressful. And hell, I pay my rent. He can't force me to leave. I pay my rent. And one thing my cousin told me, he says, in Vermont, nobody can evict you between February and April in the middle of winter. That's just a rule. I said, oh, well, that's good. Well, he has no reason to evict me because I pay my rent every single month, right? And, in the summertime, I take care, I'm always sweeping the porch, and keep it. I love that porch. I sit out on there in my little rocking chair that everybody loves to sit on when they come to visit my neighbor upstairs. So it's a great place. It really is. The house is beautiful. It was a perfect haven for Vivi. He was so, so happy the last couple of years. He loved this place. And I'm just glad that I could have gotten him, I gave him some peace and happiness. He just loved the outside. And I'll never stop crying about Vivi because even though he was a brat, I miss him. So, and I feel him jump on the bed all the time. I'm like, I'll be sitting here and I feel like somebody's coming up on the bed and I'm like, there's nobody there. I'm convinced that he's visiting me. So, and I know that I've been kind of lax in doing makeup videos these past couple of weeks. I've just been dealing with a lot of stuff, dealing with the landlord, dealing with the chronic sinus infection that I've had for like the past 3 months, it seems. It gets better, then it comes back. It gets better, and then it comes back. I've had the ear pain. I never did get back to the doctor because my battery was dead. So, it seems to be getting a little better. I'm not getting as much pain as I was getting, which is a good thing. So maybe it's, calming down. And my cousin said it could be just allergies, because I do live in this dry house with the wood, and what do you call it? Wooden floors, hardwood floors. They get so much dust between the cracks that I'm sure it's affecting me, you know. I'm sure it is. And some of the wood out in the living room are starting to separate, and that's not good either. So, and I see all the dirt there. Once I get my first stimulus check, I'm going to be getting a vacuum cleaner that has the attachments where I can actually get in between these crevices and you really get all that gunk out because there's just so much dust in this place. It could very well be that I'm just suffering from allergies, you know. So, yeah, that's what I think as far as that is concerned. And as far as keeping myself busy this week, I am discovering some old songs from way back when. As most of you know, we do an open mic on Shimmer Soul's channel. Thursdays and Saturdays at 8. And I am constantly, going through the archives and seeing what songs I can sing. And I have found some really old ones that I really, really liked. So, what I'm working on for Saturday is Ode to Billy Joe, which is a great song. Harper Valley PTA, which is a funny song. All of those old country songs, that were just iconic. So that's kind of what I'm working on for Saturday. I'm working on some old classic country songs and even pop songs. I'm starting to remember all these little songs from when I was a kid. The Fifth Dimension, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, Aquarius. All that cool stuff that we had back in the 70s and 80s. It was just cool, cool music. So I'm having fun doing that. And I am watching my Happy Days DVDs. I am currently watching season 3. I have one more season, season 4, and then I won't be a while before I can get the rest of the seasons, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I love these old shows. They just bring so much joy to me, And the thing is, when I was a kid, I never did watch that stuff. My parents were so no non-kid oriented. They just I didn't have a normal childhood where I could watch TV or watch Disney movies. I just stayed up in my room. I was a hermit because I didn't want to be around them. But what I listened to when I was a kid was I became a Donny Osmond freak and Bay City Rollers, all the pop stuff, is what I was into when I was a kid in the 70s. And I mean, I listened to some other music at times, like on my radio. When I did my homework, I'd always listen to the radio. And my mother would say, turn that thing off. And I'm like, no, it keeps me company. So I've been listening to music for a long time. My very first album was the Beatles, Something New, their vinyl album. So I love the Beatles. I practically know all of their songs except for the later ones. I know all the early songs that they did. And I just started with the Beatles, and then I went on to, just listening to the radio. I love the pop music, but Donnie was my guy. Donnie and his brothers, I absolutely love them. Barry Gibb, all those pop stars, I love them all so much. And it wasn't really into my later years that I started watching these old shows, okay? Really, I didn't discover all these old shows until I moved to my own apartment in Smyrna, Tennessee. I didn't have cable, but I had Me TV. Now, Me TV had all of those old shows, all right? Happy Days, The Flying Nun, Laverne and Shirley, Father Knows Best, Family Ties, all of those shows. I never watched them when they were around the first time. And I absolutely fell in love with them. And of course, the Partridge Family. I did watch the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch when they were popular. At that point, I had my own TV up in my room, and so I watched the Partridge Family and the Brady Bunch. And but I started collecting all the DVDs when I had a good job and I could afford it. I got the Partridge Family, the entire series. I got the Brady Bunch, the entire series. I've got Laverne and Shirley. I got that recently. Now I've got Happy Days. What else? Reba. I've got all of her stuff. The Golden Girls and Big Bang Theory and Shameless. I've got all of Shameless. So I just, that's how I keep myself busy here. I live alone and it gets pretty lonely. But I love watching these shows and it really, really makes me happy and I get to laugh and have a good old time. So, yeah, I have a good time with that stuff. Just singing and watching my movies and interacting with Winnie and my one day a week at work, which is nice. But yeah, that's kind of what I do and I really enjoy, my life right now. So, It's, lonely but peaceful. You know, if you've ever lived in a big city, Nashville. My trip from Smyrna to Nashville from my last job was horrendous. 45 minutes of back to back traffic. It was getting to me so bad I couldn't take it anymore. And once I got up here, it was like a breath of fresh air. Oh, just a breath of fresh air. The interstates up here, I've never been on the interstate at bad times, like, when people are going home. But Vermont is so spread out and no billboards are allowed on the highways. So it's just a beautiful ride whenever you go on the highway. Now, the interstate is like, I'd say it's about 15, 16 miles from me right now because I am out in the boondocks and I don't go on there very often. I never go on there, only if I really want to go to like Walmart, which I've been to a couple of times. And I've gone to Ulta one time, and that's all the times I've ever been out of here. Maybe 3 times since I got here. I've gone out on the interstate to go to the bigger stores. It's just too much. Such a long ride. So that is why I am an Amazon customer, a very frequent Amazon customer. A lot of people say to me, how can you afford to do that all the time? Well, listen to me, all right? I'm one person, okay? I get a check every month for Social Security. I have a part time job, okay? I suffered for 35 years sacrificing everything for my husband, all right? He couldn't work. He was disabled on Social Security. I was the breadwinner. I was out there working 40 hours a week, all right, and getting nothing back for it. Um, when we were married, we had a lot of different bills. Now I am blessed. I only have my phone bill, my car insurance bill, and my rent. And I've chosen to have cable. All right. It took me 2 years to get cable in here because I really couldn't afford it. Now, when I had my job and I was working more often, I, you know, I said, okay, I can afford cable now. And I'm going to keep the cable because I need my internet. Okay. It's basically just internet and basic TV. I just have basics. And you know what the basics are now? That's gone up to $100. I can't believe how expensive cable is. But I have to have my internet. Okay. I'm alone. I get lonely and I love my internet. So that I'm going to work on keeping every single month. And, I am blessed. I don't have a whole lot of bills. Okay. Now I'm struggling because I'm down to 1 day a week, but that's life. Things happen and, you know, you can't foresee the future. So I'm doing good, right? So and I live in the boondocks. Like I just told you, the stores are 20, 30 miles away. I've got Big Lots here. All right. But there's a lot of things that come up that I can't get at Big Lots. So I do Amazon a lot. Now, granted, I do spend it on nails sometimes and on makeup, which I actually haven't gotten makeup in forever, since December when I got that Ulta gift certificate from somebody, you know. And if I get anything else, it's usually at CVS with my extra care card. You get so many extra bucks all the time. And I get a lot of things that way too. So, you know, this is me. It's just me. I don't have my husband. I don't have kids. I don't have 10,000 different bills. So I'm just lucky that way. I'm living my life the way I deserve to live my life. It's been too long. I've suffered for so long. And this is my time. I'm going to be 64 in December. This is my time. I paid my dues. Believe me. From the age of 19 to the age of, my husband was 70. How old was he when he passed away? He was 68, and he's 13 years older than me. Since then, I have finally gotten the things I want, gotten the things that I need. I never could do that when I was with him. Everything waited until February every year when we got our tax refunds. Now, I'm comfortable for once and I'm happy about it. So, you know, I'm on a tight budget again, of course, since my hours were taken down, but I'm dealing with it, you know. And I have so much makeup in there. I really, I've been looking at new makeup. I've got to tell her, of course I have. Nothing really appeals to me, because I have so many palettes with so many different color stories. I've got pinks, I've got purples, I've got blues, I've got grays. I don't need any more makeup. All right. And that's another reason why I changed the name of my channel, because I don't really, makeup isn't the only thing that I do on my channel. All right. And because, I'm not like the other beauty gurus who apparently make so much money that they can buy all this makeup all the time. God bless them, right? But I'm not in that position. So I'm kind of just making this more of a vlog channel, makeup once in a while, showing off the apartment, sharing tips with you about my budgeting and things like that. And that is why I changed my channel name. And I have to say that Shimmer Soul, who is a creator here on YouTube, she has made all these beautiful banners for me for my front page that you see that say Glow with Glow. She is so talented and she is amazing. I mean, I've got like 10 or 11 different ones that she's made, and I just switch them up every once in a while. So I've made tremendously wonderful new friends on YouTube who I absolutely adore. I love you all so, so much. And I love my subscribers. Thank you so, so much for being my subscriber and being here and watching my videos. I care about each and every one of you. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.